Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. So this is your Akashic Records past life reading, but specifically, who do you know from your past lifetime? Or who will you meet from your past lifetime if you have not met them already? So we're gonna find out together. All right, so before we get into the video, I want to thank today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. So Skillshare, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online community where there are thousands of classes for curious and creative people like you and I. By the way, a lot of the classes are under 60 minutes, so it fits into any schedule. Classes that I love taking on Skillshare are classes related to creativity and productivity, and the one that I'm taking right now has helped me tremendously when it comes to finding confidence in my creative spark, because honestly, I could be the biggest self-doubter of myself a lot of the times. So the class I'm taking right now is called Creative Breakthrough: 8 Exercises to Power Your Creativity and Confidence in Career. It is taught by Danielle Krisa. And the teacher of this class, what I found really profound is that she said that she stopped creating. She stopped painting for 20 years because one of her professors told her that she should never paint again. And that sort of like got to her. She let that words get to her, and she completely stopped creating for 20 years, but now she's back at it again. So it's kind of inspiring to see that, a lot of people go through moments like that, and you should never let outside voices or your own self-doubt get in the way of ever creating. So I found this person to be very inspirational, and I've learned a lot from her. She helps you find your creative superpower that makes you unique and how to silence your self-doubt, which is, I think, really important to know how to combat that whenever it comes back up, because it is going to come back up from time to time. But to know how to manage that self-doubt is a very powerful tool that you can have. The first 1,000 people who sign up with the link below in my description box receives 2 months of free premium membership to Skillshare, and I think you should utilize it. But what I want you to do is I want you to pick one of these books. Each of these books have a stack of cards in them that I have pre-shuffled and have not looked at yet. So we're going to find out together. And please do not judge the book by its cover. All right, go with your gut instinct or what you feel intuitively connected to. And because of the nature of the reading, you are more than welcome to pick more than one book if you feel drawn to it, because we probably know a few people from our past lifetime, not just one person, right? So I will be showing you the book individually as well in just a second. Also, these are actually books that I have read and recommend when it comes to, accessing your Akashic Records or wanting to find out more about your past lifetime. So I will be linking these books down below if you are interested in purchasing them as well. If you have a pendulum, it could be really helpful to decide which book to choose. But again, don't judge the book by its cover, but rather your gut instinct, please. All right, so if you pick group number 1, this is the reading for you. This is Edgar Cayce on the Akashic Records. And once again, I will be linking this book down below. If you guys are interested in purchasing it, I really recommend this book. Okay, so we're gonna find out. Let's take these out. Okay. All right, so let me lay these cards down first to take a look at the overall picture. All right, so what I gather immediately is that you guys are part of one soul, okay? So I don't know what term you feel comfortable with, and I think the closest thing that I could use is the term twin flame. Although you don't have to quite identify with that term, but it's almost like you are one soul split in half, and you have decided to split in half and to experience life individually, but also come together in each and every lifetime. So there is an agreement that you have come up with, okay, with this particular person, and with this person you share one soul. And there is this like yin yang quality to it. So there is the divine feminine and divine masculine energy that both of you carry, and these are not pertaining to the gender that you each decide to incarnate as, okay? So it is not gender based but energy based. So that's what I see here. But there's also this very spiritual quality. A lot of your lifetimes, rather, I think that you guys have been through the light and the dark, and each have experienced, high highs and low lows. Okay, so I don't know if that's, something that you might experience in this lifetime as well, but just understand that that seems to be something that you have chosen to experience. You wanted to know the low lows, and you want to know the high highs. Okay, all right, so what's also interesting is that both of your energy is coming out here. So it could be vice versa. Keep that in mind. So when I say you, it could be them, vice versa. You know the spiel, you know the deal. But your deck actually has two different cards that say unconditional love. And these are two different decks, but sort of the same message: unconditional love, unconditional love. So that is so beautiful, because this is what you share, that deep honest love that has that integrity, that has that knowing, because both of you are one in essence. Okay, but here's what it is. I also feel that and I don't know how much you're going to resonate with this portion, but I honestly feel that you guys are not quite ancient, okay? I don't think that this is both of your first lifetimes, because what's coming out to me is two lifetimes already. And just in this one reading, I see two lifetimes that you shared with one another. So I want to say, you probably have like a handful of lifetimes. I wouldn't say more than I'm gonna say more than like 4 or 5. Okay, so it's fairly new in the scale of things. More of a new energy is what I'm receiving here. Anyways, so you have had this initiation and ceremony card. Shows me that once again you have initiated this separation, and you guys have both agreed upon this. Now, if you guys do somehow resonate, I think it's because your incarnation as human beings have not been too many. Like I said, a handful of times on this earth. But before that, I think that you guys were coming from, Arcturus or Vega. If you do somehow resonate with, being a starseed or being from outer space or whatever, that's the type of energy that is what I'm receiving here, Arcturus and Vega. So this is the energy that is very, Arcturus energy is very intelligent, but also very, I want to say, drawn to this mothering, nurturing energy, right? So there is really no separation. Like, you are me, I am you, and therefore, the more that I love myself, the more that I love you, because we are together. All right, so that's what I'm receiving here with this Arcturus energy, but the Vega too, very empathic. Both of you might be someone who are very sensitive to certain energies or fragrances, or even, synthetic dyes or whatever. Like, it's like there's something here that maybe food too. Maybe you find that, both of you are allergic to something. It doesn't have to be that both of you are allergic to the same thing, but that you guys are both very, very sensitive, right, to some type of degree, whether it's emotional or mental or whatever, physically allergic to something, or sensitive to something. Anyways, you guys might find that about yourselves. Unconditional love, initiation and ceremony. Let's get going. All right, let's pull more cards here. Okay. Okay. And the other reason I say that is because of this card right here. Look at this, Earthbound. So yeah, you guys are from outer space. You have chosen to incarnate into this world together. And what's more, this card is 21 is the world card, I believe. So what I feel like is this. With this energy, this is so much of this connectedness with almost with the world card. This person could be from somewhere outside of your country or your ethnicity, or your upbringing may be from like two different like separate towns, or I want to even venture on to say like international. It's like you meet internationally, or both of you guys have different like ethnic background or religious or background, or very different upbringings. It seems to me that you guys are from different countries, or you might meet this person when you're in a different country. There's something that tells me that with this card. So I don't know if you have already met somebody like this, then, and if it resonates, I think it's this person. If you have not, I think that you will meet this person under those terms, okay? But anyways, yeah, we're earthbound, so very new sort of to the earth energy. What else do I say? What else do I see? Okay, one of your incarnations, in fact, I think was from the continent of Africa, okay? From the continent of Africa, you have shared a lifetime together, okay? And it could even be reflected in this lifetime as well, if you feel that this resonates with you in this lifetime. But regardless, I think in the past lifetime you have come under the connection of a very spiritual connection, okay? This Yemaya card is very, very spiritual, and it's from the Yoruba religious pantheon. Yemaya is an Orisha goddess and beloved, mother of all fishes, magic and healing in the West African Yoruba religious pantheon. So anyways, I think that perhaps, connecting with Yemaya could invoke some type of memories from your past lifetime. So just keep that in mind. If you guys are interested, look Yemaya up. She's an Orisha, or a goddess, if you will. Look her up, and maybe, there's some kind of a remembrance that comes back up. Anyhow, I think that, you guys have had some connection, in particular West African, but perhaps the continent of Africa here. There is a strong connection. My goodness. And you know what it is? The other thing is, and stick with me here, okay? Because I'm about to go into this territory. Stick with me here. This is what I'm receiving. Remember how I said the divine masculine and feminine energy is not gender based, okay? It's not sex based. So I want you to keep in mind that we might have reincarnated as a female, let's just say, but in a past lifetime we could have been male, vice versa, right? Or whatever. So just keep that in mind, because this is the first lifetime. And I'm getting more of a love sense, guys. Some of you guys, this person is still, I'm just gonna stick with it here. Sorry. I have like several storylines here, and I'm getting like multiple lifetimes for you guys. So one lifetime, you guys were actually connected in a very religious sense, okay? So not only are you guys connected in a spiritual sense, we have already established that in many lifetimes. However, in one lifetime, it was more of a religious, or more of a, I want to say one person, okay, vice versa storyline here. So keep that in mind. One person has opened their eyes to the other, the other person's eyes to religion, okay? What am I getting here? Okay, here we go. See that? With this Jupiter card? My gosh, look at that Jupiter card. All right, So I'm going to put that right there. But basically, with this Jupiter energy, this is to say, once again, you guys probably are from different countries or were from different countries. This is long distance travel. We're talking about, philosophy. We're talking about religion. We're talking about one person teaching or leading the other person, gravitating towards each other because you needed that connection. You needed somebody to guide you, or you were guiding the other person, vice versa, right? But there is this spiritual, higher knowing, religious aspect to both of your connections. So you might feel that you both are very religious people. But anyways, what I'm seeing here with this hedonist and the high priestess or priestess, one of you guys really decided to come back into one of your lifetimes experiencing the low. Remember, I was talking about the low lows and the high highs. You wanted to experience everything. I mean, this Vega energy and this Arcturus energy are somebody who wants to just know everything about everything. You don't just want to, yes, you're sensitive, but also you are researchers, you are philosophers, and you are very scientific as well. Now, sacred geometry is something that you both might be attracted to, or might also help you, again, as a portal to connect with your past lifetime. So looking at certain shapes and structures or studying sacred geometry could be something that evokes, once again, memories from your past. And I do apologize if I'm repeating myself, but there's a lot coming through here, and I want to make sure that I'm touching on everything, but I do have a tendency to interrupt myself a lot, interrupt my thought patterns. But anyhow, this is what it is. One of you decided to wanting to experience the low lows. Okay. So one of you had a very, 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 very tough life. Okay. Very tough life in the past lifetime. And so, you were down on your luck. You basically didn't have a dollar to your name. Okay. So again, vice versa. And, you had to resort to extreme measures to survive. And one of them was probably to, use your body in order to survive. And so, if you catch my drift there. So, and the other person was a very religious figure and saw this. By the way, you guys were both female, okay? In this past lifetime, this is what I'm getting. You guys were both female, gender-wise. Or sex-wise. I don't know what people say these days. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anybody, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we're just going to go with it. Okay. So, basically what I'm seeing here is that both of you guys were feminine energies, and one of you guys may or may not have been resulting to measures of prostitution or really doing everything you can to just survive. Minimal money, like just really just on the streets almost. This is what I'm feeling, okay? And the other person took this person in and wanted to give the other person a better life by spiritually connecting with God. And also it involved like this religious energy of, okay, my God tells me that I need to help you. I feel guided to help you. My, mission here on earth is to save lost souls. And so you took the other person in, okay? And I don't know what type of religion it is. It doesn't matter. It was out of the goodness of your heart, but what you truly, truly believe, what your God or gods have guided you to do. Okay. So there's a definite spiritual connection there. So you took the other person in and you showed them the ropes and you taught them about gods or goddesses, or gods and goddesses or whatever, multiple gods or whatever, what have you. Because I'm getting here like this African energy, so it could be anything. But anyways, I really feel that energy. Okay. So yeah, just keep in mind. Also, like, I think the other person, the person that was down on their luck, had some addiction issues that you helped work them through. So it might even resurface in this lifetime where this person could have addictive patterns. And I'm not saying just drugs or, sexual encounters or whatever. I'm not saying all that. Sometimes we can be addicted to things that are low vibrational in general. Okay. Or maybe we're addicted to like food that is not good for us. Or maybe we're addicted to people people that are not good for us, right? And so like you kind of lead them into a more healthy lifestyle by bringing in spirituality in their everyday life. So just keep that in mind. It could be vice versa once again. What else am I receiving here? Yeah, but it's like, you know, you both are very good looking people. I have to say this. Both are very good looking people. So keep that in mind. And I don't care if you don't feel that way about yourself. I'm going to tell you right now, you're a very good looking person. Okay. The thing is, you guys like both like love to joke with each other. And you know why? It's because it's already built on friendship. Look, humor and friendship. You see that? Because here's the thing. Remember how I told you earlier that, and I'm sorry, my thoughts are kind of all over the place because there's so many messages here. Remember how I said earlier that you guys were both like female? So in that time, it was taboo, okay? There was something that you both have felt that you couldn't really explain. And give this story a chance. If you feel kind of like, what? That's weird. But remember, you know, we have many lifetimes and our soul knows who we really are. So with this energy I'm receiving here is that there was some kind of a attraction there. You guys may or may not have identified with it being like a actual, you know, romantic attraction or not, but there was something that always pulled you together. Here, remember, you guys are one soul. So there is something that always pulled you together. And maybe in that time it wasn't sexual or anything or romantic, but in this lifetime it will be. And this is the first lifetime that you guys have ever experienced in the handful of lifetimes I explained earlier, that you guys get to be together physically in a romantic sense. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're of age and ready. Okay, you will be together, and I definitely see this energy here. So just know that when you finally do come together, mind, body, and soul, you guys are going to experience this type of explosion that is not, you know, easily explained. Look at this. Look at this. So you guys already connect from the heart center, right? Unconditional love. The heart chakra is activated, the third eye, and finally the crown chakra activation, in a very profound, earth-shattering way, in a good way, right? So when you finally do come together physically, not only, you know, mentally and your soul level and everything like that, starting from the ground up, so starting from your root chakra, it activates all the way up to your crown chakra. So it is a sort of a very ecstatic moment that you're going to experience because you wanted to be together in that type of way too, but for whatever reason you couldn't, or it didn't really you didn't really think of it that way. It might have been taboo in certain time periods or whatever, or cultures, or it just didn't really cross your mind that way, but you knew that there was a definitive connection. Okay, so it's already based on friendship and humor, so you know that it's going to be good. It might even start off as a friendship in this lifetime. Okay, might not be immediate like romantic, but it starts off as a friendship and you just love each other's company. We've got Buddha there as well, so there's a connection there. It could be like, you know, Asia as well in one lifetime. But it's like in some type of capacity spiritually, you guys keep getting connected with one another, but the friendship and the humor is on point. So you guys have really similar humor, which is really important in a relationship, right? So you already established that friendship. And we have this trickster too. You might like to play like tricks on each other. I love that. Okay. All right. So let's see. Oh, I think that you guys might live together. If you don't live together already, you will live together. Okay, because the fourth house talks about your home. It talks about enjoying each other's company, your relatives. So you might know each other's through your relatives, or maybe like a friend, your mothers are friends or whatever. It's like there's some kind of thing that might connect you in terms of family. Or I also believe that you guys will create a family together, or you will create a beautiful home together. But the fourth house also is the heart chakra. So this is the activating the friendship that you have, the unconditional love that you have with one another, a beautiful, going back to the Yamaya here, this is definitely a connection with like the mother energy, right? That's the fourth house. That's the Cancer energy. So, the Cancer energy really is intuitive. It's spiritual, which we already explained already. You guys are have this psychic connection, spiritual connection. Not only that, you guys nurture each other. And how beautiful is that? Because in one lifetime, you nurtured one another. You were great friends. It started off as one person helping another person, leading this person to a better life, and then boom, before you knew it, you were like two peas in a pod, because you are two peas in a pod. Okay, anyways, the fourth house, you guys probably cook really good food together, or you love to have that comfortable vibes at home, and there's a lot of happiness shared. And fourth house also, this to me is what was I saying here earlier? I caught something. Okay, so you know how I said you guys have like a handful of lifetimes together, that you guys are not like quite super ancient, but well, you could be ancient because there could be a long time between each lifetime, if you knew that. So like you guys could say, okay, well, I wanted to incarnate in like ancient Egyptian times, and then say, well, I'm going to take a rest until 2020. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have that rest period. You don't have to incarnate right away. So I'm just saying. But anyways, you guys could be ancient, but what I'm saying is the experience wise, I don't think it's more than half of the times. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. So yeah, basically there is this connection, beautiful mother connection, but also with this moksha, like this release energy, I think that you're coming very close to transcending the human form and just sort of going up into the ethers. All right, I'm just gonna say it because I feel like in this lifetime, it's either this or the next lifetime that you completely come back together and are like, okay, enjoy the experience. It was great. We learned what we needed to learn. We did a lot of good deeds, and we're ready to sort of depart back into the ethers, if you will. And I know that might sound kind of weird to some of you guys, but I'm getting that energy that it might be one or the second to last from your lifetime. So if you've ever felt that way, that how there's certain things that you can kind of identify, it's just something that you already know, right? It's just something that you already know, and you're like, okay, well, I do feel like this is one of my last lifetimes because, endings are tough on me. Endings are tough on me, and blah, blah, blah. So anyways, let's put that right there. Fourth house energy. Okay, so you guys are very, very creative individuals, okay? You love not only because of this wave of bliss too, you guys love music, you guys love art, you are very creative people. You might even be someone who, connected in an artistic sense before, that one of you guys were like a starving artist or whatever, and you wanted to do that, but you couldn't really follow through on it. And in this lifetime, I think there's a lot of fulfillment there. But by the way, it's like when you guys come together, it is art, by the way, because it's like this, ecstatic, when you come together, the chemistry is so good. You trust one another. You have complete faith in one another. So if you sort of think of this person as someone who, I want to say, like, intuitively you feel this is somebody you already know, and you don't have trust in this person, unfortunately, I don't think that that's the person, okay? Or you need to build trust, because there's already a sense of friendship and unconditional love that you share, and a lot of trust that you already have. So if someone keeps triggering you to make you worry if you can trust in this person, it might not be that person, okay? Doesn't mean that person is not right for you, because sometimes, hey, we do come together with our twin flame romantically. Twin flames are not always romantic, by the way. Like, there are people who come together and create music that each of them have a significant... All right, sorry, I was blabbering on and I didn't realize the video timed out. But what I was saying here with this arts and wave of bliss, and excuse me if I repeat myself because I don't know where it got cut off, but I was saying here that you guys are very, very sensitive, creative energies, and this is somebody who you have complete faith and trust in. And if somebody, you know, kind of triggers you to make you worried if you can trust this person or not, it might not be this particular person we're tapping into. As I stated earlier with this balance card, you guys are... And I'm just going to use the term twin flame, even though I don't feel really comfortable with that, but that is the closest term I can think of. You guys are one soul, so it doesn't always have to be romantic, okay? Two people can come together and create art, create music, or what have you, and each of them have a different significant other, but when they come together and create, that is confirmation that you guys, you know, have come here to create something that's beautiful, and that you guys are, you know, a part of one soul. So just remember that, you know, you do not have to be with this person romantically, although I feel that you will be because of that physical connection. When you come together, the foundation is on trust and faith, and you create great ecstasy and great chemistry with one another. So it's a very, very huge moment, okay? All right? Sorry, there's kids playing outside. But yeah, you guys have integrity. Look at that heart chakra once again in the third eye chakra here. When you come together, it's like enchantment. You know, bewitching beauty truly comes from routine self-care, self-love, and celebration. Create this butter for a daily dose of glamour magic. Anyways, this just talks about that. But look at this. So we have amber, vanilla, lang. I could be pronouncing that completely wrong, but lang, I think it is. Ylang. Sometimes. Anyways, with this integrity enchantment, like, there is this immediate heart chakra activation, third eye chakra activation, coming up from the root chakra all the way up. And so I really think that this is a moment that it's a magical moment when you meet together, if you haven't met them already. Okay, so I'm going to close out this reading. Thank you so much for watching. All right, so whoever picked group number 2, this is Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss, and this is a really great book. So if you guys want to read it, I'll link it down below, but let's take a look at the cards inside. Okay, so... All right, so I'm going to lay the cards down. I'm going to lay the cards down in front of me to take a look at the energies, the overall energy. Okay, very, very interesting. Okay. All right, so immediately what I'm receiving here is this. Unlike the first book, you guys actually have many lifetimes together, but you still have a lot to work through, okay, before you ascend together or what have you. There's a lot to work through. So karmically, you know, there's good stuff, and then maybe there's also some harsh times that you guys have experienced together or will experience still together, and I don't want you to worry about that, okay? The only thing here is this. I really feel that you guys have agreed upon it, so don't forget that you guys have agreed upon, you know, experiencing this. You guys essentially signed a contract to experience all the goods, all the highs and all the lows, right? But I strongly believe that you guys have met in your past lifetime. You guys were co-workers, or you guys met at your workplace, okay? And in this lifetime, potentially you might also meet each other at work. The 10th house energy is your profession. It's your social position, your reputation, your power, your popularity, ambition, integrity, advancement in public life. Okay, so you guys might meet each other in the public, or you guys probably awaken each of you guys to your life purpose or to your career. Okay, so there's a strong connection here in the career. And what I feel like is this with the life purpose card as well, is that you awaken the other person to what they potentially feel their life purpose is. But you do have to completely surrender, because I think that both of you guys have had a connection that potentially was maybe a mother and child connection in a past lifetime or in the current lifetime here as well. I think that it might have not been something that been something that you guys really had to work through and evolve through. Okay, you guys wanted to experience what it was like to come together as a mother and child, potentially in this current lifetime here as well, to understand each other's differences. Okay, and understand the shadow self of each other. So I want to tell you, this is very different from the first book here, in the sense that you guys trigger each other to work through your shadows. So it is very karmic in that sense. Very karmic here. So we have the complete surrender and seeking karmic balance, the Lyra and the Pleiades energy, right? So you guys may have, if you do somehow sort of resonate with this Lyra and Pleiades energy, you guys could have come from that star system. But as you can see here with the Lyra, it's almost like the hands are digging into the sacral and root chakra. So what does it mean to feel comfortable? What does it mean to explore my true identity and my ego, working through the ego by exposing the shadow selves of each other to each other, so you can both work on it together and to find some sort of a liberation. Okay, and the liberation is not going to come soon for you guys, in a terms of you guys still want to come back into each other's life and work through it. Okay, so liberation just means that moment where you just sort of decide, okay, I don't, neither of one of us need to come back as a human, because actually we still want to learn more, we still want to work on a lot of stuff together, and we still want to heal. Okay, so there will be many, many more lifetimes that you will incarnate into each other's life. I just want to keep that, I just want to say that. But anyways, with the Pleiades, you see how, okay, so this is it. This is your comfort. This is your grounded energy that you may have not felt within each other, if it was like a mother and child dynamic, and if it still is, it just means that you guys had to work through it. One lifetime you could have been the child, they could have been the mother. In another lifetime you could have been the mother, they could have been the child, right? You guys can repeat the same dynamic until you can kind of work through with it. Okay, but anyways, the complete surrender, karmic balance, the Pleiades is standing on a book and then also reading a book. So there's a lot of wisdom that you share with one another. You guys have been teachers to one another, students to one another in many, many lifetimes. And it's just to say that, it's very, very tough. It could even be, I want to say, not even a biological mother. Okay, for a very select number of you guys. It could have been somebody who was kind of a mother figure. It could have been a grandmother, or whoever, has adopted you, or maybe if you're thinking about adopting in the future. It's not to say that don't be scared of it, okay? I'm just saying, if you guys have chosen this, you guys have chosen this to come back onto this earth, and this is the very grounded Mother Earth Gaia energy, right? So either you received it and you're happy with it, or you still are seeking that in this lifetime together with one another. All right, so seeking karmic balance, complete surrender, and surrender to this so you can learn from it, right? So we have, this male and female. So you guys have been in a relationship before, maybe in a past lifetime. Maybe you guys were co-workers. So there is this relationship here. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. And a higher good does not always mean, okay, when I ask for cake, they give me cake. No, right? The mother always knows what's best for the child for the most part. And so they, say no cake because, you don't want to get cavities, right? And they encourage you to study. They encourage you to better yourself. They encourage you to be healthy because they really do care about you, right? And because of this health card too, I really strongly believe that both of you guys will awaken each other in terms of what is healthy, okay? So you guys are going to have a very healthy relationship with one another in this lifetime because you have a lot to, learn from one another, and a lot of shadow to bring into each other's life is shadow work. So working through the shadows of each other so that you can, work through some linear thinking, think outside of the box. So this person allows you to think outside of the box, but that is just for the betterment of yourself and your soul. Okay. So you can be wise and you can, have that wisdom to carry with you into the next lifetime and many, many more. But that also awakens you to your life purpose, doesn't it? Right? Sometimes we have a lot of the times we have spiritual awakenings and they are not pleasant, right? They are not pleasant. You have to almost, work through the shadows. You have to go through all of that grime to resurface again so you can breathe, So your eyes can be open. Look at this with this evolution. So that is a spiritual awakening that this person provokes. Truly. And it could be in a positive way, like, wow, like this person has awakened me because they inspire me, so on and so forth, right? It is your own personal journey, but this person could be the positive catalyst or they could be sort of the negative catalyst. Okay? So I just want to say that here. You guys will awaken to each other, awaken one another. And I'm sorry, I keep messing those words up, but you guys will awaken each other to a better, healthier understanding about your relationship, healthier understanding about your life purpose, healthier understanding about finances and your work. Okay? Now, here's another lifetime. So I'm already seeing mother and child dynamic. I'm seeing, male and female romantic relationship. I'm also seeing perhaps a dynamic to which, one of you guys actually were very, very well off. Okay. Some type of a high figure and the other person stole from the other person money. Okay, finances. So there's something you have to work through karmically with this person. Financial talks may come up a lot, like you guys like to talk about finances, or you guys might fight about finances, or you guys might work on things financially together. It could be a partnership, a financial partnership here as well, is what I'm seeing here. But anyways, I do feel that there could have been wealth that was stolen from the other person. And so there is this relationship, karmic relationship with finances here as well. And if it was a relationship, or if it is a relationship that, for example, okay, not to kind of talk about myself too much, but hear me out here, is that I have been 10 years removed from a relationship, right? So it's been 10 years since this person and I broke up, but finally, right, I'm able to kind of say that, hey, that was actually karmic. Do I want to be with this person? Abso-freaking-lutely not, because I'm with the best person in the whole wide world. Sorry, he's taken, but I'm just saying, literally the person that I'm with right now is just the best person ever. But I would have probably never met this person or explored a relationship with this person if it weren't for that karmic relationship. You understand what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't be reading tarot right now and doing all this kind of stuff if it wasn't for that terrible karmic relationship. And I'm not saying you guys are going to have a terrible karmic relationship. I'm just saying everything happens for a reason, and it is a catalyst for everything. And so I am thankful, 10 years removed, of course, 10 years removed, I'm thankful to have met this person and experienced our relationship, because I just had to experience it. I just had to go through it. And it led me to where I am today. So I just want you to know that. Also, relationship with your mother. If it's great, that's great. If, you had to really work to understand one another, it might have awakened you to your current life purpose. It might have awakened you to be, responsible with your life. Take your life into your own matters and find your own comfortable energy. Find your own confidence, right? Find your own voice. That's the first house. So this is your appearance, disposition, eccentricities, personality. You guys may have had to experience in your past lifetime, and even bleeding into the current lifetime, where you had to experience with a lot of energy vampires in your life. And they could be karmic. You could know them from a past lifetime, right? So, this is your beauty, strength, constitution, stature, self-esteem. You guys may have had to work through a lot of self-esteem issues with this person. Okay? So that's what I see. Anything else? But again, this person is the catalyst for you to have that creative spark within you. Okay? You guys probably were an artist in a past lifetime, or you continue to be an artist as well. You guys just have this inner knowing when it comes to creativity. But I do believe that, like I said earlier, one was well off, one was the other person's thief. And so there is this dynamic of okay, why does this person have so much? And why do I have so little? I should take away from this person. So that could be repeated in many ways. It could be that, you have just this spark and other people are jealous of this spark. Or, you have this success and other people are kind of jealous of this success, or vice versa. Okay? You guys just might have this energy that people are just like, well, how come you have this energy? And you just have this vitality and health, But, so it might, cause a lot of people to be, it could have been a bully that you've had in this current lifetime, that you guys were mother and daughter, you guys were, female and male relationship, romantic relationship. You guys have been the well-off and the thief, the selfish person. You felt that, well, not to say you were selfish or they were selfish, but per se, but the other person viewed the other person like this, well, they have so much. They're not going to hurt if I take from them, right? So it's like this light that, each of you might try to take away from one another, but that's the shadow work that's necessary. That's the catalyst that is important. And I know this one is kind of weird, but I really truly believe that. And there is a strong possibility you guys can work through it, right? You guys can get back to those roots. And it's like they almost pull you to find comfortability within yourself, security within yourself, to have self-esteem, to not look for it in the other person, or to not look for it in finances, to not say, hey, one day when I'm rich, I'm going to be comfortable. No, it's like, how do you find that right now? Okay, so that's something that each of you have had to kind of do the push and pull, the tug and like a tug of war between the both of you. Okay. Because it's like, why can't this person just love me? Why can't this person just give me that comfort? Why can't this person just give me that unconditional love? Why does this person think such inside of the box and I can't relate to this person, right? They have this linear thinking. They have this thought patterns that you can't really resonate with. It might be an annoying coworker too. Because I do believe you guys worked together in a past lifetime. So it's like this, why can't this person just think this way? And it's and it just might, force you to work out your shadows and to purify from it, right? That's the puja, the purification. So you release all these sediments, right? All of this grime from each past lifetime until you become sort of this clean energy. And I think that you guys still have a lot to work through. Okay? Someone, as maybe you might not think, like, because let me tell you something. I don't want you to get discouraged by this reading, because you probably have another person from a different lifetime that you guys will have a very nice, harmonious, beautiful spiritual connection with. Okay, this is also a spiritual connection, but what I'm saying here is, you know, if you're looking for, hey, do I know my boyfriend, girlfriend from my past life? Do I know my husband, you know, wife or whatever from my past lifetime? Yeah, you probably do, but this is somebody else. This is somebody else. You know, this is your mother, your coworker. This is, you know, perhaps relationship as well for some of you guys. Someone who you feel like you give, and they take. Okay? And vice versa. Castle in the clouds. So yeah, so you guys have a lot to work through, but remember that you have chosen this, okay? You have chosen this, and you guys will awaken to your life purpose. And how beautiful. You see those steps right there in the life purpose card? Those like golden, you know, full of light steps. You walk through them. A castle in the sky, right? So you have that. You have that security and foundation and comfortability, nurturing and understanding within yourself. And you just have to remember that. You don't need another person to remind you of who you really are, what your life purpose is, you know? You have that temple within you. Incense evokes the senses connected to divine spirit and can be used to enhance a daily meditation practice. So next time you light an incense, if you're not, you know, opposed to that, like if you're not allergic or anything, if you like incense, try to put on an incense, light an incense before meditation. When you access this castle or temple, which is where they stole the Akashic, where they store the Akashic records. I don't know, I can't speak all of a sudden. But you know what I'm saying? It might evoke some things from your past life. You're going to start to remember the things from your past lifetime. And that's going to better you as a person. Okay? So you might want to work with those energies. But yes, it's like you're trying to work through the sediments, the dirt and the grime, so that you could be this pure form. Purification, right? And that does require a lot of shadow work. That does require you to focus on things and work through things that might not be the most pleasurable experience. But you needed to have that so you can have this catalyst and a spark to get you through this evolution. And to learn, you know, to learn. So just let it flow easily. Let it flow easily. Completely surrender to this, because you need to experience this. And a lot of the times, you know, when you're not prepared for it, you might be triggered by it, right? It's like you don't want to hear it. But then when you're finally ready to work through it, you advance in such a very speedy, fast way. It's like this immediate connection that you make to, oh, this is what I need to do to better myself. And that's what I think a lot of the times, you know, certain relationships does for us, to make us understand that we need to find our own nurturing energy. We need to find our own healthy connection to ourselves. Okay? But I truly believe that you guys were like husband and wife. You guys worked together. You guys, you know, I think you guys were famous in a past lifetime too, if you're still watching. I really do. Like, there was something here that connected both of you together in terms of your life purpose, but also you were very known for it. You were very known for it, okay? So I'm going to close off this reading. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. All right, group number 3, this is your reading. And here we have the How to Read the Akashic Records by Linda Howe. And I'll link it down below. And this is your reading. So let's get into it. Let me pull out the cards first. and then take a look at them. All right. Let's see. Okay, so immediately what I feel for you here is this. You guys have had many lifetimes together, but in particular, a very mystical existence, okay? Very mystical existence, not of this earthly realm or this current sort of world we live in. Very, very different from that. The reason I say that, we have the Atlantis card right here. So you guys have had a lot of freedom, right? A lot of freedom, a lot of peace, okay? This was more of an evolved sort of civilization in which people, prioritized peace and understanding and connectedness that you guys might, strive for in this lifetime. So it's like, okay, because you come from such an evolved atmosphere, it's like, okay, why is it that people cannot stop hating one another? Why is there such a discrepancy in people who are rich and people who are starving, for their next meal, doesn't even have clean water? Like, what the heck is going on in this world? This is not what we're used to. And so there is more of a newer energy that I'm receiving on an earthly realm, okay? On an earthly realm, it is sort of more of a new existence. However, because of this Atlantis energy and this freedom, you guys, might strive for that freedom, that connectedness with water, which is feeling, which is intuition, which is, this creative spark and this peace and understanding. And it's like, okay, so things related to the water is something that you guys could greatly benefit from, remembering the past life. Next time you go to a body of water, try just meditating on the sound of the waves, or just the glistening of the water, and really just start to reflect on your past life. I think you're going to remember something intense about being in the time of Atlantis. Okay, the other thing with Atlantis though is that there is it ended abruptly, right? So it's like this that peaceful kind of structure was taken down and destroyed. So you might be scared of the water, or you might be somebody who, I don't know, for some reason I was like, okay, maybe you don't like to eat fish, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know, maybe, but it's like this connection with, these oceanic creatures from the ocean, maybe like dolphins and fish and whales. Like that might be something that you connect with greatly. I know I do, right? So but I do like to, I have eaten fish in the past, so I don't anymore, but I'm not going to say I hate the taste of fish, because I actually do really like it. I just choose not to eat it. So I'm just saying, like, right? So I don't know why I'm getting that, but it doesn't matter. Just erase the whole fish thing. But yeah, that's what I feel. It's like, you want to get back to that, but also, the way maybe you are kind of, you have this strong inclination towards like talking about things politically, or being opposed to certain political powers because of the destructions that you may have experienced. And it's like, why is it that maybe there's some anger related to political issues in general that might come up for you? You guys might be scared of the water too because of the abrupt ending. So, work through your fears related to like the ocean. If you are fearful of it, if you're not, if you love the ocean, next time you go, or you might want to live closer to the water. Next time you go, like I said, meditate on it. You guys are going to remember a lot of it, right? So you want world peace. And the sad truth is that it feels like we're kind of far from it. So there is maybe a little bit of frustration related to the lack of freedom you could be experienced, right? Technologically as well, Atlantis was very, very advanced. So it's like, why is everything moving so slowly? Why can I just, teleport somewhere? Why can I just, plug this crystal in and get going, right? What's going on? Like, I could do so much with crystals, like, and we could still do so much, but it's like physically, there is like this frustration of like, people don't know how to use crystals. They just like to buy them because they're pretty, but they don't understand that crystals have so much power and so much knowledge and information. A crystal is a library, a freaking library of wisdom. Why do people just like, not know that the technology that crystals have? You could feel that way as well. I'm just saying that because I feel that way. But yeah, that was random, but I thought I'd mention it. Why the heck not? You probably resonate with it. But anyways, here's what it is. In Atlantean times, you guys were a teacher, okay? You guys connected so well with one another because you guys were sort of this feminine teacher figure to a lot of people, okay? A lot of your fellow living beings. You guys were teachers. Look at this. So because we have the Sagittarius card, that's what I mentioned. That's why I mention it, is that I think that you guys were highly evolved, intelligent creatures. And so you guys had a lot of wisdom to share with a lot of people. You guys were philosophical, you guys were honest teachers. You guys learned a lot and taught a lot, but also had this like playful, like jokey manner. So you guys may get along, just being, jokey with one another, having a lot of humor and happiness with one another, because that is the energy that you guys have had from Atlantean times, right? You guys have been, also a teacher in terms of like art as well, but we're getting to that in just a second. So there is this honesty that you share with one another, and in another's company, you don't have to pretend. It's like this, like just immediate knowing, right? Because Atlanteans connected so well with one another, not in the way that our egos get in the way in terms of like current, structures, current lifetime, how human beings are right now, but because it was almost like this understanding, telepathy. Right away, you understand what each other are feeling, what each other are trying to say, right? This is the throat chakra. And this is the heart chakra. So not only do you communicate and connect with one another emotionally, but also in a communicative manner. You guys might connect with humor. You guys might connect with, hey, did you know that? Like, I researched that. Can I share you with the wisdom that I have, what I'm interested in, what I know about? And you guys like love that mental connection you receive with one another. That's the crown chakra, right? So this activation of the heart, the throat, and possibly the third eye, but the crown. Look at this. These are like wings coming out of the crown chakra, because it's like you immediately know that you guys are telling the truth, and it's like there, and what you want to say is like so easily connected. And I love this playful energy between the both of you. It is also very, very passionate, right? It's the fire element. Speaking of which, we have this Phoenix card here as well, which is, so we're getting to it. I'm like getting sidetracked. There's so many messages. I'm really excited. This is a truly unique one. This book, if you picked this one, very unique. Very unique. So with the Sagittarius card, you guys might meet each other through traveling or long distance travel, or you guys could come from a different background or different country, okay? It's just worth noting that with this Sagittarius energy. So the Jupiter is expansion, right? It's Piscean, and it's also Sagittarius with the Jupiter. Strong connection through like the 12th house and the 9th house. So you are very wise. Both of you are so smart. Both of you are well traveled, or would like to travel the world, or have a lot of knowledge about, history in the world and all this kind of stuff, and religion and spirituality. But also you connect on a very etheric type of way. So you probably connect with each other through your dreams, okay? In a restful state. And very imaginative, very creative energy, right? So we have the artist card, which is interesting. I feel that I have not read for group number 4 yet, but so far, each of the books had some kind of artist card in it. And of course, I just shuffle I just go into a trance and I shuffle and I just stick them in the book. So I have not looked at it. So some of the themes may be a little bit repetitive in a sense of the artist sense. Okay, so there is some kind of artist element. You could have been like art teachers, of course, in your own way, in a past lifetime, connecting through art, which is a lot of these senses, right? So art is visually pleasing, but art can really be anything. I mean, you could go into a kitchen and create art, right? In the kitchen, and it's like, wow, this plate of food is visually pleasing. But not only that, you know, it sparks my, you know, sense of smell, sense of hearing. Music is art too. It's like it sparks your hearing, and it's all this kind of stuff. So art can really be anything, but it is connecting with expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. Okay, so you see a lot of symbols when you're around this person, you know, a lot of symbols, like looking into like something like this, for example. You go into a trance and you just remember your past life, meditating on sort of like symbols. You guys might know a lot about symbols too. I'm going to change my battery out real quick. I'll be right back. Here we go. So with the celestial teacher, again, I do feel that you guys were, you know, great teachers, and you taught, you know, freedom, you taught art, you taught peace, you taught a lot of like philosophical, spiritual things, and maybe one of you guys were the student, the other one was a teacher. But anyways, with this Phoenix, number 19 is such a powerful number, because it's 1 and 9, right? So it's beginning and the ending. Now, I really truly feel that for specifically for you guys, it could be, sorry, I'm going to take a sip of my tea because, sorry about that. There's something stuck in my throat. But with the 19 card, it's like this energy of 1 and 9, which is the beginning and the ending. But also the 9 is a highly spiritual number in terms of you being a leader, a teacher, a philanthropist, someone who really wants to help better the world. And so that might kind of bring you together in this lifetime as well. But the number 1 also, leader, right? New beginning, motivation, goals, and it's spiritual here as well. So that combining with one another, it tells me here that you have somehow come full circle, that you have experienced all the shades. So unlike group number 3, yes, you've experienced a lot together, but you still will experience a lot together. You still have a lot to work through. That was number 3. This is number 3. Number 2, I meant. But this one in particular, it's like you guys probably at the tail end of experienced everything. So you have experienced all kinds of dynamic with one another, and you guys are coming into a better understanding of one another. And it's like this energy that you might, you know, just as well, this might be the last lifetime that you shared together, or one of the last, because you know, I think you guys just connect so well together already. Okay, anyways, that's the number 19. But also with this Phoenix, you know, again, you have experienced so much together and you're ascending. It's like, it's just this this energy that cannot just die easily, right? This is an energy that is ever living. You can never put out that flame. So there's a lot of this fire energy here, but also with the Pisces water energy, Atlantis. Anyways, yes, that's what I see here. You're like a phoenix, you rise from the ashes. Let's see here. So, teacher, right? An inner child. So you guys really bring out the inner child with one another, within each other. And I want to say here, there is a little bit of a repetitive energy from the other book, because I really feel with this inner child and celestial teacher that there is perhaps a teacher and a student dynamic, or a mother and daughter dynamic, or even a grandparent. This is very ancestral energy here as well. So maybe it's several generations removed, but you guys have kind of lived on an earthly plane on the same time, even for a brief moment. Okay, so this is someone who's a strong feminine figure in your life, in this current life, or also in your past lifetime. Because remember, we can incarnate as the opposite gender or what have you many times. Okay, you guys could have been both, you know, feminine energies, or both masculine energies, or, you know, the opposite, whatever, it doesn't matter. So what I'm trying to say here is that I strongly believe if you have a strong feminine figure in your life, okay, it could be family, or it could just been a teacher that you've have had, or someone who's not, you know, specifically a teacher by occupation, but somebody who has taught you a lot about, you know, creativity, peace, understanding, love, magic, even like someone who has taught you some sort of ritual or something that is really important, that you still carry with you. So just understand that it could be that same thing in this lifetime as well, but it is like a strong feminine figure in this lifetime, I also believe. Okay. Yes, but also with this Phoenix energy and the inner child, like they evoke and they bring something out within you that needs that inner child. It's a catalyst for your inner child to heal. Because we have this victim card here as well. And this spider and blame and vows. It's almost like in one of your lifetimes, you also took a vow that could be affecting you in this current lifetime as well. Because the vow and this, and this spider energy kind of tells me here that you still have like energetic cords from your last lifetime that still you have to work through in this current lifetime. So something that you have agreed upon, so a contract that you signed in a past lifetime that you must now break to understand your true worth, your true nature, right? So this could be contracts related to, I don't know, something about, I would say that, you know, punishing yourself, right? Or a lack mindset that you could feel in terms of in general, like I feel like there's like a lack mindset here that you still have to kind of work through, or you are a catalyst for the other person to work through this, or both of you work through it together, but individually, but at the same time. And you have to sort of forgive yourself for whatever you may have seen or you may have experienced in the past lifetime. The forgiveness comes from a heart chakra, which is interesting. Both of you guys, you know, probably the most used chakra, most activated chakra when you guys are in each other's presence is your heart chakra. Look at all this green, right? So you connect well with each other from your heart center, but there's also a lot to work through your heart center, right? In order to find balance. Okay, as you ascend to the next chakra and the next and the next, right now in this lifetime, what you're working through is your heart chakra, heart center with this moon. Okay, so anyways, by going back to this whole vow thing, you may have had energetic cords still that you need to work through in this lifetime, as far as things that you have agreed to in the past lifetime, that you have to start to remember your self-worth, okay, and rise from the ashes here, just like the phoenix. Some inner child work that needs to be done, okay? Because the moon card here, I stated earlier, you know, this is very feminine. So it could be a, you know, more of a feminine energy in this current lifetime that this person is about, that you connect with from the past life. So this is your nurturing energy, right? So that you need to work through. This is love. This is, you know, maybe at times you find that you gain more by going within, right? Emotions, flexibility, receptivity, fluidity, memory, right? So the memories will be evoked maybe perhaps if you work with the cycles of the moon, and that's going to help you remember certain things. But moon and water is something that you connect deeply with, right? So with this spider, weaving a web of magic, the spider's wisdom lies in precision, patience, and storytelling. So there's a lot of things that connect you with this particular person like a spider web. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on. That's how much you connect with one another throughout many, many lifetimes. So just remember that, okay? It's not just one and done. This person is someone that's profound impact on each and every lifetime for you. And so, yeah, that's what I see. But also the spider, it's feminine energy, right? So once again, it's like this person, it doesn't matter if you're, male masculine or female feminine or female masculine, male feminine, doesn't matter. Okay, that's the energy we're talking about. But and I know you guys already know that, but maybe if you guys are kind of like new to this spiritual talk, spiritual symbols and stuff like that, and spiritual words, I should say. I'm getting kind of like, it's like, what am I saying? But anyways, that's what I feel for you, okay? Is that with the spider, that is the feminine energy, makes you remember your own feminine strength, all right? So with this blame, like, a lot of emotional things to work through, a lot of things to work through, because you could have been someone who was a victim in a past lifetime, right? And so you have to work through that outside of that victim mentality and understand to take ownership of your life, right? Just much like a spider does, right? It's a go-getter, like, here, I'm gonna lay down the traps and you're gonna fall right into it, and that's my snack, right? It's like, if you've ever seen a spider devour its mate afterwards, it's like, oh gosh. So it is a very strong feminine energy, but you can create your life for yourself. You can, weave that spider web and create a beautiful home, right? The moon card is the planet of the moon, very home vibes too, right? So creating a comfortable home environment for yourself. It might have been a mother in a past lifetime, or still continues to be in this current lifetime. For some of you guys, select number of you guys who do want children, okay? I'm not talking about the people who don't want children, because that's cool, that's fine. But if you do want children, it could be your child. If you have a child already, this is what we're talking about. This is your child is connected to your past lifetime, okay? And this is profound. This is what the reading is about for some of you guys. Equal value philosophy. So Pleiades, right? Seeds of polarity, Lyra. So this goes back to, like, if you do somehow resonate with this Pleiade energy and this Lyra energy, you guys had to work through a lot of differences with one another. But not only that, in the world that you come from, it's very different than this current sort of dynamic that we're living in. So you guys have had to work through a lot of polarity. But you guys share something so close with one another. This is the heart chakra, right? It almost seems like this is like a fish to this Pleiade energy, even though they're not a fish. It's like, for some reason, it looks like a fish in a bowl, doesn't it? So connecting to water is going to help you with your artistry, your creativity, but also tapping into the wisdom from many, many lifetimes, connecting back to that freedom, world within world, we have elixir, fruit, essence. So with this, what I feel like is this, you guys have really good senses. And what I mean by that is this: one person could be like such a good cook, or the other person is really good with art, or just like, decoration, or I don't know, there's like this color that both of you guys are so good with colors. Like there's healing energy with colors and sound and music and all this kind of stuff. So when you are in each other's presence, even your sixth senses are ignited, right? So just remember here that that there is also a lot of success that you're going to share, right? The fruit, like, it just gives you that knowledge. The tree is very stable, but the fruits that it bears, it keeps giving, right? You keep giving to one another, and you keep not only is it aesthetically pleasing, but also spiritually pleasing, right? It fulfills you so much. So I think that you guys have such good exalted senses, and you guys are gonna find stability in one another. You guys, that's why I feel, all right, that's what I feel, that group number 3, it is one of your last lifetimes together, because you guys have worked through a lot of the issues. Okay, you guys have already this like infinite understanding with one another. And so don't be sad about it being like one of your last lifetimes, but understand that you guys have experienced so much together, and you guys have somehow learned so much from one another and bettered one another throughout this process. But if you still have some issues related to like lack mindset or self-punishment, understand that you're going to work through this. It's like a pentacle energy, okay? So earthly energy, very grounded energy. And I really feel that even though you have like a world within a world, like the moon, it's a reflection. So when you look into each other, you know that what you need to improve, what you need to work through, and they know vice versa. It's like a reflection. It's the best teacher. You could be your best teacher, because as you look at yourself in the mirror, you could see your faults, but you could also see the stuff that you are so great in, and that you're wonderful in, and you're so gifted in. And finally, when you can look into the mirror without ego and realize, hey, you know what? I do need to work on this. Hey, I do need to better this. This is something that you do for one another. And it's so beautiful. You guys have your own world. You guys have your own world, which is, yes, you come from Atlantis, but also like this own world of like, when you're in each other's presence, you guys just go into your own like cute little world, and it's just so cute. It's so beautiful. And I just really truly believe that with that. Okay. Nourish yourself, nourish yourself. And understand you can have success and stability. Understand, to tap into your art, tap into this philosophy that you have, tap into your intuition and your emotions. Don't be scared of it. Dive deep into that ocean and feel that belonging. Okay. And so that's what I see for you here. But mostly for people who do resonate with this, I'm getting the sense it's more of a really important, strong feminine figure in this lifetime for you. If you have not met them already, you will. Okay. All right. I'm going to close out this reading. Thank you. All right. So whoever picked group number 4, this is your book. And it is called Miracles Happen, The Transformational Healing Power of Past Life Memories by Brian L. Weiss. I have 2 books by him. And the other one was Many Lives, Many Masters, which is also an option in this reading. But if you guys are interested in this book, I totally recommend it. And I will link it down below. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the cards that are inside. And I'm just going to lay them in front of me flat so I could take a look at the overall energy. That was all the cards. Okay, we'll put the book right here. And we're going to get into this reading in just a second. Ooh, I think you guys have had the most cards in your reading. So immediately, all right, immediately what I'm feeling for you here is this. This is going to be a very strange, unusual reading, but stick with me here. I truly believe that you guys have experienced a lifetime together in some type of ancient civilization, okay? Definitely some type of ancient civilization, and if you resonate with it, it could be ancient Egypt as well, although it does not have to be, because several different civilizations in that sort of time period have all kind of talked about something that was similar, and there's something that is eerily weird about how all of these places from all around the world somehow connect in their belief or structures. Okay, so if you guys are interested, you might want to look into it. But there's like pyramids in not in just ancient Egypt, but different places as well. And it's just like, how do you explain that, right? So there is a connection that both of you share from an ancient civilization, one in which we have had a very spiritual psychic technology that we somehow furthered away from or have forgotten through the process of time on how to access. So I'm just going to stick with it. I'm not going to self-correct. This is going to be a weird ass reading, but that's what I truly feel immediately, is that both of you have really experienced a civilization or time period in which we were more connected to gods. We were more connected to divine powers. We were more connected with our own psychic technology, and things that were deemed impossible were totally possible. Okay. were totally possible. So we think, oh my gosh, we have helicopters and we have all these planes. No, they've had something that was more technologically advanced, because the missing link is our psychic ability. The missing link is our spiritual ability, connecting with divinity. And we have forgotten to do that throughout time. So we've forgotten our own potential. So you guys are like, okay, you guys already know this, you know, it's like, okay, people are talking about how it was impossible to build a pyramid. We think that the Sphinx is older than it actually is. It's older than Egyptologists deem it to be. If you guys are interested in looking that up, it's very, very interesting. Sorry, my neighbor is really loud, but if you guys are interested, you guys want to look into it. There's like great books written on it and great documentaries about how people believe that the Sphinx is actually older than we have believed it to be. And it's like, okay, how is that possible? It's like older than we think. And how in the heck did they build it? How in the heck did they do this and that and that? Because there is that technology, that psychic technology. Anyways, I could go on forever when it comes to ancient Egypt. But that's what I'm seeing here. And also they understood the process of life and death, right? They were so connected to it, going back to this cremation ground and meditation energy. So there's a connection to the afterlife. Okay, so you guys, this could be the weirdest choice possible, but in a good way. Okay, because look at this. We have psychic development. All right, psychic development. And so I really honestly believe that you guys were, and we have this Akasha energy, right? Space. Now, I'm just going to roll with it. You guys were not of this earth, all right? And I'm talking in the sense of if you have ever known like Tehuti, Thoth, all these creatures and all these divine energies from, you know, these ancient times, you understand that they were not really human, that there's some kind of a reason that they came here onto this earth to teach the human civilization what's up, right? So it's like you guys have chosen to come to this earth not as a human being. In this current lifetime, you're a human being because you wanted to experience that. But in the past incarnations, I do really believe that you have chosen to come back as a teacher or a leader or someone who has taught, hey, listen, humans, you can do this. And, you know, we can teach you about life and death. And we can teach you about a lot of the things that potentially in the future people will forget about and disconnect with. But these are very important things that we need to show you. So you came from, you know, outer space, I want to say, to come to the earth to teach the human civilization here, okay? Cosmic rays, open, expansive, enveloping, pervasive, like endless, like that's the energy here with this Akasha. This is the space energy, okay? And so ear and hearing, look at that. So I think that you guys be clairaudient. So you could kind of hear certain frequencies, certain sounds that it's like, did you just hear that? And people are like, no, I didn't. What are you talking about? Like there's this high-pitched sound, or there's like the vibration that I'm hearing, or, you know, did somebody just say something? No, we didn't say anything, but you hear certain words, or if you really focus and meditate, you start to hear a lot of things, right? Sorry, I'm getting kind of like really into it as I'm like, you can't even see me on the camera, but I'm like touching my ears and I'm just all kinds of like being extra. But I'm just telling you, like, I feel that is one of your psychic gifts, is the gift of hearing, right? The psychic gift of hearing. I really truly believe that. And you have, you know, guided the human civilization. Look how tiny the person is. It's like you were a lot larger than other human beings because you're not human, okay? And I'm sorry if you don't like this reading, but I like it. And some people might resonate with it. Look at the 2 and the 7, the 27 number. This is also resulting in the number 9. So a teacher, a leader, a philanthropist. You're like, hey, humans, let me tell you something. Let me tell you the important lessons. Let me tell you your connection to the divine energy, your own potential within you. So you might be someone who also does this still today, that you are a human, but like you awaken people to their potential. Like you're somebody like, hey, you're great. You're very creative. You know, maybe you want to do this, or, hey, you know what? If you want to be more spiritual, let me guide you. Let me give you a few, you know, things to watch, things to read. Or you might be someone who's really, you know, into conspiracy theories or whatever, like I am, and you're like, hey, although I don't like to call it that, but for the whole purpose of making it kind of easy to understand, it's like, okay, you know, think outside the box. Think outside the box. Have you seen this? Have you read this? And it's like, you're somebody who always kind of leads other people to understand that, you know, to think outside of the box, right? So you are good at kind of pointing out what others could be good at. I really, truly believe that. Okay. So number 33, number 7. So you understand the process of life and death, and you're not somebody who's actually scared of it, because you understand that there is still sort of this energy that carries on after death. Now, you might be someone who's also a medium, like you can connect with energies that have passed on, or you might have like a ancestor connection that you can immediately connect with energies that have passed on, or, you know, spirits and entities and all this kind of stuff. And that might even be your gift of also being clairaudient and being able to hear, but also being able to sense the presence of spirits that are currently, you know, outside of body, basically. I really believe that you have this like maybe fascination with death in a healthy way, obviously, right? Death and connecting with, you know, life after death. Like, where do we go after death? You might have been, even as a child, sorry, I keep talking like, because there's a lot of messages coming through, but like literally like as a child, you might have been like, hey mom, hey dad, like what happens after we die? Like, what is heaven like? What is hell like? Or, you know, maybe it is not heaven and hell. Maybe I feel like, you know, maybe there's this like process that everyone goes through, and maybe you have had some like vivid dreams about, you know, death and this and all this kind of stuff. Okay, sorry, I'm getting really excited, but I'm just saying. So with the teacher card, look at that. So for sure, like it's like you were not human in a past lifetime, both of you. Okay, both of you not human. Or one was sort of the teacher, the other was the student, and this seems to be like something that kind of is what do you call it, being repeated throughout all of these books. And maybe there is a specific energy that they like me to focus on. So maybe next time I'll do another reading like this, or the same exact reading, and we get a different result. But there seems to be a teacher, mentor, student type of energy that keeps presenting itself. Basically, also with the number 77, the number 7 is a very, very spiritual card, or number rather, and we have number 77 and 7. It's like this repeating number, 33777. What else do we have? We'll get to it in a second, but I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the repetitive numbers. But we also have 23 and 32. Okay, so you might have met this person at 32, or will meet this person at 32 or 23, but it doesn't matter. It's just that to say those numbers are kind of being repeated, 23 and 32 for some reason. So that might be of importance too. But basically with the number 7, this talks about sort of the energy of movement, right? The energy of perhaps connecting with your spiritual gifts and your spiritual self, and being very interested in topics related to spirituality and psychic development, and becoming and understanding that in order to be your true spiritual self, gosh, this one has so much energy. And so sorry if I'm like talking really loud and really fast, but I love this one. This is my favorite. Okay, anyways, so with that energy, I really feel that this spiritual connection is something that you know, is within you, but you also share with this person, and understanding that in order to become more close to that side of yourself, you have to perhaps shed a lot of earthly attachments. Okay, so the earthly attachments are quite heavy to you perhaps in this lifetime, because you know what it's like to not have those earthly attachments, right? You're basically like, okay, let me do some charity work on this earth. Let me come down, let me guide these people, on the right track. And I feel like that's why there's a lot of alien sightings, and I'm getting kind of off topic, but I feel like there's a lot of alien sightings whenever the world is kind of going to SHIT, because like it's like the aliens are like, whoa, humans, what the heck? And they're kind of like holding their head, and they're like, gosh, sometimes the earthly beings give us headache, because it's like, man, we have to continuously like babysit them and remind them that, hey, this is not the way to go. Perhaps you don't want to look into nuclear weapons. Perhaps you don't want to destroy one another, because you're going to regret it. It's like all this technology you have is not connected spiritually, and that is very, very dangerous when you disconnect like that. Blah blah blah. Anyways, so it's like this energy of like you like almost like holding your head and like having a headache every time the world kind of like goes to like dark territory. And it's like, gosh, oh my gosh, again, it's like every 4 years it repeats itself. Anyways, so there's that energy, right? But also understanding that the earthly attachments is something that you have to shed, including your ego. So you might have had to work through a lot of things related to that, both within each other, but also by yourselves. By the way, we have the Vata, which is the space and air energy as well. So slender, sensitive, nervous, communicative, light sleeper, highly active, dry hair and skin, cold hands and feet, quick movement and speech. Which is true. Like, I feel like I'm talking so fast right now, but I don't know. Normally I talk slow, so for me it's kind of fast. But anyways, yeah, so great communication here. The other thing to know is that if you maybe one of you guys was this energy and the other was sort of the one who was learning about it, because I also see with this authority figure, scribe, and what else did I say? Yeah, and maybe even the Pisces. Okay, with the being the mentor. Okay, hold on. There's like so many cards for your reading. So what I think is this, is that you guys could have been scribes. You guys could have been each, writers of this knowledge. So if you look at the Emerald Tablet, or if you look at these like ancient scriptures, even perhaps the Bible, but that is another story. I feel like there's like some kind of things that you may have been the people to carve out those those hieroglyphics into the walls or whatever. There's some kind of scribing here. Okay, you're like translating what you know so that the future generations could still see what you knew today. And so, sorry about that sound, but persevering knowledge and information. Okay, so you guys might be connected to a certain author, and understand that if there is like this strong connection you feel to a piece of writing or author or a poet, understand you may have known each other in the past lifetime. Okay, maybe in this lifetime you don't know each other, but hey, there is this strong connection because you were in each other's circle, okay, in a past lifetime. But scribing, writing, you guys are extremely psychic. Oh my gosh, number 4, everyone is, but you guys have so many very vivid gifts. Let me tell you something. So hearing, right? We talked about clairaudient. We talked about, what else did we talk about? Like the knowledge that you have, psychic gifts that you have, but also and we talked about mediumship, right? Connecting with the dead, but also scribe, like writing down, like try like auto writing or whatever you call it. I forgot what it's called. Sorry. Sometimes I, forget the words, but so just zone in and start writing. Get like a big piece of paper and just start writing. Go into a trance and start writing, because there's something here that could connect with you from your past lifetime. I believe number 4, this is about somebody, but it's more about yourself. And I'm sorry, because the title is like, who do you know from a past lifetime, or who will you meet from your past lifetime? But I'm just saying, like, seems to be like a strong energy for yourself, because maybe you needed to meet you Okay, and I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but maybe you needed to meet you as a current lifetime. So for me, it's like Anza. I needed to meet Anza. I needed to kind of live life as Anza or what have you, right? So maybe that's it. Or maybe you'll meet somebody who's sort of like an authority figure. It could be a boss, or it could be your parent, or it could be somebody who kind of like you look up to and understand that they are your teacher. Understand that they have come here to teach you in some type of capacity, whether they're an actual teacher or whether just somebody who really sparks that guru energy. Like they have this guru energy, right? So it's like you go to them and they just have a wealth of knowledge and they spark something within you. And it's like, you know, you remember something from your past lifetime. You remember your potential. You remember your purpose, right? So you can get out of like indecisive energy and move forward and surrender to the energies of the universe because of this person, because this person kind of sparks some kind of truth within you, right? Interesting that we have like this truth and authority figures. It's almost like a judge, law, you know, up and down, the balance of the universe. Okay, so you're comfortable to speak your truth around this person, and they have an infinite wealth of knowledge. If you have not met this person already, you will. Okay, don't worry about that. You will, and it might be, you know, a teacher figure. It might be that you already know about them through your dreams, because this Piscean energy is connecting to that mystical and psychic side of yourself, but also like during nighttime, during your sleep hours, right? Empathic, truthful, psychic, timid, religious, just, dependent, reserved, and dignified. Okay, so that is the energy of the water that you connect so well with. Also Jupiterian, so spirituality, leadership, traveling abroad. You could meet this person while traveling abroad, or this person could be from like a different country than you, so on and so forth. But that is also the Jupiter energy of expansiveness. But when it comes to Jupiter and the Pisces energies rather than the Sagittarius, then we expand into outside worlds, right? So the Sagittarius might be, okay, let me get to know myself by traveling or exposing myself to religion or philosophy or, you know, ancient wisdom. But the Pisces, like, hey, it's not just the earth you can learn from. Let's go out into outer space, man. That is the Pisces Jupiter energy. Okay, by the way, that Pisces Jupiter is the old rulership. I go by the old rulership, so not necessarily Neptune, but you know, both of those energies coming together. Scribe, right? So that we got that. And then the truth. So, you know, it's about justice. It's about like balance between the both of you, right? And this is great balance to have. It's the water, but also the fire, which is really that Jupiter energy, because the water Jupiter energy is Pisces and the fire Jupiter energy is Sagittarius. So that's the, you know, water and fire. You see that water? I don't know if you can. It's like splashes of water and then there's fire here. So balance, truth, and understanding, right? In your throat chakra. So this is you, exposing your truth, being able to be more of your true self around this person. You might even go into a relationship with this person. It could be a romantic relationship as well, or you could have shared a past romantic relationship with one another. But this person helps you through indecision, okay? I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So tapping into your intuition somehow becomes easier when around this person. Now, because this is a general reading, I'm going to give you another scenario that I feel strongly pulled to say. This is not going to apply to everybody. This is somebody you had a relationship with before that it did not work out with, okay? And that is okay. It's not meant to work out in every lifetime, but you are supposed to come into each other's life to spark something, you know, spark something within you, because after all, it is your own journey, your own soul's journey, right? You don't come attached to somebody else. You could be, you know, one day, but right now you have incarnated to experience life as yourself. And so everything is about how it affects you and your own development, right? So I'm trying to say here that if you have had a relationship before that it didn't work out, whether it was romantic or a friendship or a teacher-student dynamic, like it didn't really go the way that you wanted it to, whatever you have experienced before that it didn't really work out, it could have been this person we're tapping into. And that is why the focus is more on yourself, okay? That is why you are very unique. This book is the only book, because this is the last book, is the only book that talks more about yourself rather than who do you know or who you meet, because it's like you've already met this person and it didn't really work out how you wanted it to, but it actually had to work out that way so that it sparks some kind of psychic and spiritual development and spiritual awakening within you. And spiritual awakenings don't happen from pleasant moments. It happens from like the soul tearing, like just gut-wrenching type of feeling, okay? And it has to happen that way because it's shadow work. So anyways, if you identify with this, it could have been a friendship that went astray, or like a relationship or whatever, okay? Mother and child, or whatever, like teacher and student, it doesn't matter, right? Or father even, didn't work out. Because the guru is the Jupiter energy, or rather is more of the father. Okay, so yes, it's the mother, but for some of you, it could be the father as well. So I'm just saying, like, some kind of relationship that didn't work out before. So you've already met this person. So that's why the reading is more about yourself. Okay, so they ignite this purpose within you, whether it was a pleasant experience or gut-wrenching experience, whatever it is. They gave you this fire to transform. It was very, very intense. You know, it was concentrated, hot, focused, clear, burning, illuminating. It illuminated your potential to yourself, penetrating, digesting, eyesight. Look at that, eyesight. My gosh. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. You guys are the most psychic group. And not only that, it's not just hearing. Let's just say you have eyesight, hearing, feeling, touching, senses, smelling, all this kind of stuff. Purpose. I know what I am here to do. So they ignited that purpose within you. Surrender and move forward. Yeah, so 23 and 31. And we had 3 and 12 and 23 and 32 as well. So with that, surrender and move forward is the energy that truly talks about, what was that, 32? Oh, here it is, 23. Oh, you have 2 23s and 31 and 32. So that would be the ages, or it just might be just that repetitive number, 23, 23, and 32. Anyway, sorry, I don't know, that's like, well, I don't know why so many cards are like that energy, but move forward, surrender. So I think that you've moved on from this person. And if you have not, you're still working through it, but it's been a really good experience for you. It might have not been a pleasant experience, but regardless, that doesn't take away from the fact that it was good. It was needed so that you can just, let go of these emotions and, strip away from these earthly things that you feel connected to connect with yourself more psychically and spiritually. Okay. Finally, we have these 3 cards. We have 3 muses, which says, when you're in need of inspiration, stoke the creative fires of polyhymnia. I'm sorry, I don't know what the heck that says. Right there. Okay. Thalia or Calliope. Oh, it must be like a goddess energy. The Greek goddess of poetry, comedy, and singing. Okay, sorry about that. I'm not very versed in, this Greek stuff. But look at that. That's great. So it says, let polyhymnia guide my pen and allow poetic revelations to flow. What did I say? Go into a trance, get a large piece of paper, go into a trance, play some meditative music, and start writing. Start writing and feel that third eye, because in that throat chakra, something you're going to write is going to make the connection, or draw. Okay, it could be drawing for some of you guys because you are very creative. Writing or drawing, whatever, both are creative, but maybe you guys work more well with visuals rather than words. I think that you're going to start to remember things from your past lifetime. Okay, so poetry, comedy, and singing could be part of your purpose, or something that you feel very, very closely guided to, because you were a scribe too. Remember, you guys were writing down these, hieroglyphics or ancient texts and ancient knowledge. Okay, even Greek could be, Greek or Egypt or anything else. Herbs of love, a potpourri recipe to promote warmth, community, and respect. So the following herbs, might be something that you might want to work with. Okay, or you also work with it in the past because guess what? You were an alchemist, right? In ancient Egypt, there were alchemists. That is where the word alchemy comes from, because in ancient Egypt, they called Egypt Chem or Chemia or Kemet, because it means the dark, rich soil of Egypt, and all the ancient wisdom that it carries, right? They were alchemists, and that is why they figured what they figured, between life and death, and they work with those energies. So just understand, you guys might be alchemist, or you guys might feel closely drawn to alchemy and hermeticism even. So anyways, the Hermes or Thoth or Tahuti or all this kind of stuff, or just even magic, but balm of Gilead, periwinkle, honeysuckle, rose, jasmine, myrtle, cinnamon sticks, lavage, and mistletoe, sandalwood, amber, patchouli, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so work with those herbs. Okay, work with those herbs, and that could help you kind of with your psychic ability, but also remembrance of your past lifetime. Prospero, a money drawing oil blend to promote prosperity. Okay, so you can look at that if you want to create that. But I also feel that you are destined for success, material success, okay, material accumulation. You're going to be very, very wealthy. And don't doubt that, okay? Don't speak it out loud in the comments either, because it's not going to happen. If the words are very, very powerful, don't say that. Like, oh, I don't think I'm going to be rich. And of course, if you want to, I think you're going to be, okay? So I really think you guys were in a relationship with this individual, or some kind of a friendship or something like that, that it didn't work out. But I truly believe it was a catalyst for you to remember your own essence. All right, I'm going to close out this reading. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.